dear friend of mine and a very accomplished and a very distinctive chef, Chef Raveena Taurani. Chef Raveena is with us as a chef. She trained as a chef, and then she set up Yogi Sattva. And I've seen how she's used social media, which is a very organic way from the heart. So I think she's going to give us, very apt tips for like home chefs, are people who are doing their own business, right? It's not part of a restaurant or a hotel. So how to start it on.
Thank you so much, Kalyan, for that very kind introduction. Like he said about me, I am Chef Raveena. I'm the founder of Yogi Sattva Cafe in Bandra. We're India's first 100% plant-based cafe and culinary school. So we not only prepare this food for you to come dine in, but we also teach you how to make this food. Social media has always played a very vital part in my journey. When I was a home chef, that's how I kind of started getting my orders, because the visibility came through posting on social media. So in 2015, where words like Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn were being thrown around, that's actually when my journey started and when I started posting. I was just cooking for 3 months, but I started posting consistently, so my orders became consistent and my visibility grew massively. Within 3 months of posting consistently, I got my first recipe feature in High Blitz. From there, then I got featured in Vogue, Harper's Bazaar, Elle, Grazia. So you see, it's all a domino effect. So you have to kind of start somewhere. If you go back and scroll to my Instagram or to my Facebook and see some of my first posts, they are terrible. But I'm so glad that I started and I didn't judge myself back then, because if I would have always thought like, oh no, I'll start when I'm ready, or I'll start when I feel like I have the proper content, I would have never started. Yeah, so that is one dilemma we get stuck in, that is it good enough? Will anybody interact with it? Will anything? Don't think, just post. Yeah. So today I'm here to help you grow your social media. One of the main challenges that we have with social media today is consistency. We find it hard to be consistent on the social media platforms. We somewhat also find it tiresome and boring. Like, what do I post today? What should I post? I don't know only what I should be doing. What you need to understand about social media is that it is a digital form of communication, right? More than just posting, think of it as a sales opportunity for your product. If you are a home chef and you started your business, you're doing really well, everybody in the building is buying your product, how do you expand to even the next building? How do you expand to the next lane? How do you expand to that entire area? Where do you grow your revenue with different clientele? That's the purpose of social media. I often think that people think of social media as very tiresome and very, it's sucking my energy and all of this. But I would like you to now think of social media as service media. How can I serve myself or my business better? It's a growth opportunity for you. It's an opportunity to monetize not just your product, but also yourself. If you see in due time you're getting good traction on any of the platforms you're posting, you will get booked for more events. A lot of the times, home chefs who are consistent on a platform like LinkedIn, which is only associated largely with corporates in most people's mind. But there are so many home chefs on there which get then opportunities to demonstrate their cooking skills for private workshops that they are booked by for corporates. So it's a great money platform alternatively, except for you having to sell through product. So I really want you to expand what social media means today. So we have a lot of platforms. You have Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Snapchat. TikTok is banned in India, but if you weren't here, TikTok would be one of them. Pinterest, Reddit, Tumblr, blogging. These are all different ways of how you can share content on social media. Before we move ahead, I want you to think about when you do decide to be more consistent with your social media. You need to think about posting with intention versus posting for attention. Yeah? So what do I want to communicate through my social media? How do you want to communicate this information? Who should this information reach? Who is your target audience? And most importantly, what value am I providing? These are questions you have to sit down and answer yourself before you begin your journey to be more consistent on social media. If you have a pathway, if you have a direction, if you know what your vision and mission is, it's much easier for you to be aligned with the consistency of posting regularly. Another thing that I like to apply, which is a strategy when it comes to social media, is I like to plan in advance. So if I am right now in December, that means I am planning January's content. I am not shooting December's content in December and then posting. I understand on a home chef scale that becomes very difficult because you don't have the resources that you need. But even when I did things as a home chef, I always tried to at least give myself a week to 10 days margin. So that way I planned out, okay, these are the days I want to post and this is the content I want to make. So I would make a content calendar. I put this in your sheets, which is a nice format you can put either on paper or on an Excel. And then you can write down exactly, hey, this is the day I want to post this is what it's going to be, and this is what I want it to look like. When you decide to shoot, you will have this calendar with you. So you can batch shoot your content. In the notes, you write down for this specific recipe or for this specific shoot, these are the things I require. Now, not only are you going to be more efficient, you're going to have a better plan of action, you're going to shoot better, you're going to create better content, and you're going to be in a place where posting becomes so effortless and easy. A lot of the times we approach social media in a way where we're like, I've come today, let me decide today only what I want to post. It's a recipe for disaster. Please always plan ahead. Start with 1 week, move to 10 days, move to 20 days. Eventually you will be as good as a heads up as a month. Now, one of the main things that you're looking forward to is ensuring that you put all your festival dates in the calendar. For example, if I'm now planning content for January, what happens in January? First is New Year's, 26th is Republic Day. So these are things that I need to be mindful of. If my brand, for example, launched on January 2nd, I can then do a few throwback memories that this is when my brand launched, these were the dates why it was important to me. So a lot of that content can also tie in. But you need to really tie it in with the story of your brand. You have to build a story, not just about yourself, but also about your product. What motivated you to make it? Why did you want to make this? Why is it special to you? What does Christmas remind you of? Really go back to the basics. The more questions you answer, the more effortless your content becomes. So now, how do we ace this game of consistency, which is the most important? In your content calendar, I've also put a reference. Reference is basically you taking a link of somebody else's post or something else, somebody else's reel content or video content or photo content that you liked. And you are now going to recreate your own version of it. It is absolutely fine to do that. You are not copying them, you are creating your own version. How are you going to come up with ideas if this is your first time approaching it, right? So please use what is available. Art is an imitation of art. Always remember this. Please make it your own, but please take a reference point. Till date, we use reference points. We have no idea how to make content organically and new all the time. Sometimes ideas flow through effortlessly, and sometimes we have to make the effort to reference it all out. So please have a reference, it's always easier. Your third step will be that once you've planned your shoot and shot everything, you're going to make sure to edit everything in advance, whether that means just putting it together directly on Instagram, asking help from your friends and neighbors and their kids because they will totally know how to do it. Any person in the 20 to 30 age group is spending time on their phone, catch them, they are amazing. Any person from 15 to 20, that's like your golden shrine. Please sit with them. They can do it so fast and they'll be able to do whatever you've shot and edited, they'll be able to edit it in like seconds. Organize it all in one album. Make sure you have all your captions ready on the same sheet that I've given you first. Now what this does is when the day comes to post, all I need to do is set a reminder. My post is ready, my caption is ready, and I'm just posting. It becomes that effortless. The effort is the planning and the execution. But after that, it should be flowing content and you shouldn't waste too much time on it. I shoot all of Yogi Sattva's contents in 2 days in the whole month. I only give it 2 days of my time. Now it's up to the social media manager to take that ahead. If you start at your scale and you don't have a social media manager, right? And you're like, okay, I have to do this all myself. Again, go back to the drawing board. A lot of the time when we first opened brick and mortar, I opened my cafe in COVID. Not a very fun time to open a cafe. So I opened in the second, right before the second lockdown. I got locked down in 4 months. I had to again go back to doing social media alone because I couldn't afford the resource, right? I had to make sure my existing staff coming to work was being paid fairly and on time. So always make sure the best best sort of thing that you can do for yourself as a home chef is to gain the knowledge and always be independent. It's okay to ask for help, but you must always know how to do it yourself. Because then you don't have any liability on anyone. Your work won't stop just because somebody didn't show up. Fifth, you want to make sure that when you plan your next month's content and you have been posting consistently, check the data. What is working? What is not working? What are my posting times? Like, where am I getting more traction? This all, you have insights on all your posts. Across all platforms, you'll see a view insights button. This will help you plan for the next month. Okay, I want to now post at this time because I saw more traction here. This type of content is working better, so now I will not do this type. I will focus more on this because this is what my audience wants, right? So please focus on these things. Kind of, I touched on this at the start, but I'll just say this again. I have always kind of thought about social media as service media, not thinking that, oh, I am obligated to post, but rather how can I post with intention? How can I say my story today? It's another opportunity for me. I've also thought about not comparing myself to others. Oh my God, this person has 1,000 more followers than me. This has 1 million followers. This person does not even run a cafe and is just showing Maggie hacks. Right? Like I should feel like, oh my God, nobody's going to look at me. I'm going to become irrelevant. No, I don't get into this trap of comparison only. Instead, I just focus on what do I want to say through my media. I know that the brand that I've built, the consistency that I've built is because I am loyal to what my thought process is. So don't, forget that in the want of wanting to become more and more popular. Just put that aside. Go back to why you want to say what you want to say on your page, and automatically you'll get organic followers. It's my strong recommendation not to put any of your money in boosting your posts, in trying to buy an audience and all of that, especially at the start of your career. You then do not build any organic following on any of your platforms, and it's very difficult for you to judge if you're growing or no as an entrepreneur. Understand, home chef or not, you are running a business. It's a legitimate business. If you are making food every day and selling, you are running a business. So please treat it as one. At the end of my worksheet, I put 2 resources that you can invest in at the start of your social media journey. This is exactly what my investment was when I started out. I just got one attachment which attaches to a table and helps you shoot over the top, which you need for cooking videos, so that it's easy and it doesn't come in your way, so that even when you don't have somebody holding it up like this attachment across your table will come. It's only 899 rupees on Amazon. I put the link also to make it easy. The next thing that I bought was this fantastic white table from IKEA. It has detachable rods, so I can now fold it and put it across. Why do I need white? White is a great background for all food, universal. Anything I shoot, even product if I shoot, it's a great background. Because the table is so easily movable, I can find the best sunlight spot. I am so greedy for sunlight that I oftentimes take the table and move it to the balcony because I just want a nice shot. So you can do that if you invest in this table, and of course if you find another table, please do. But I listed IKEA because it's about cheap furniture. Don't over-invest. You don't need this light, that light, this. No, you just need 2 things to get started so you become independent. These 2 things will make your thing independent. You want to get rid of that one hand holding the phone so it doesn't seem tedious. And the first thing that I've listed out here will help you do. This is what I recommend for building your social media and being consistent with it, and really using it as a tool to monetize your success as a home chef. Don't think that, oh, I'll never get there, I'm never investing in brick and mortar. Don't underestimate the power of social media. Today, one of the biggest YouTube channels is Kavita's Kitchen, right? And how did she start? By just literally minimal equipment at home and posting things on YouTube. And today she makes brand endorsements and revenue very competitive to what people get in corporate paying jobs. So please know that social media is how you use of it and how much power you give it. That's the revenue it will give you. But please post with intention and not with attention. Thank you.
Thank you, Raveena. It was fabulous. It was such a fabulous session. Thanks for sharing so candidly and in such a organized manner. I think that is going to give people a lot of directions.
Thank you.
Yeah, and it's, I think, like always, you've shared from the heart.